I've had AI on my mind in the last several days because I've been sent things on, um, via text messaging or messenger or whatnot, and it made me think, is that true? So I wanted to have this conversation about a thinking skill that I teach all the time is questioning and being ready to analyze. And that's the thinking process that we need to develop for ourselves in order to be successful in our lives, be able to be calm, rational human beings. And the other thing that I noticed is many people just get out there and say things to people that they don't know on the internet, on social media, which are offensive and not based on any truth. So the first thing that I had happen, let's see, it was, I don't know that it was a meme. I think it was a news article that I received. And in this news article, it said that during that January 6th, I don't know what it was called, uprising, I guess you would call it, that only 3 people were actually civilians and the rest were FBI agents. First thought, you think, what? How can that possibly be true? And the moment you think that, you realize that's what you need to be thinking. How can that possibly be true? Now, if you're on one side of the fence, you want to believe that. If you're on the other side of the fence, you don't want to believe that. And there's many people in between. But it's important to realize if it seems too good or too grandiose to be true, it is, right? It's too grandiose. It's too crazy to be true. And that's where we have to go with our thought process, that thinking skill for life. Asking, is that true? And then going to find out if it is. Well, I did my research on that. It turns out that it was written by, I think it's called the Babylon Press or the Babylon News. And when I looked them up, they are writers that write satire, which is poking fun at things. They usually do it on political items. And so I went, of course, that makes perfect sense. That was a joke. If you didn't do the research, you wouldn't know that, and it might really affect you. You might get very upset and then make other people upset by talking about it and telling them about it, not realizing that it's not even true. So that's a thinking skill we have to develop. The other thing I received was, I think it was a posting on social media. It was a congresswoman, I believe, and she was talking about this superintendent of the Des Moines, Iowa schools was in the country illegally and got picked up by the immigration people. It's called ICE. I can't remember what immigration something. And he was then found to be he had a gun, and I think they said he had $3,000 in cash. Well, when I hear that woman going off on that, I think, what? How can that possibly be true? So again, since it seems very outlandish, I go online and I check it out. And it is semi-true. And the reason I say semi is because I don't know that he's here illegally. I can't prove that yet. I haven't seen the rest of the story. He had a gun, but the gun was for hunting, as I understand it from the report. And I don't care that he has $3,000. That's up to him. But the way it was written wanted to rabble rouse me to get all upset. Upon looking it up, I refrain from getting too upset until I know more. I don't know his story, but when I read parts of his story, boy, he has been a lot of highfalutin jobs and seems to have done very well. No complaints. Everybody really liked him in Des Moines. I don't know more than that. So I can't make a judgment on that because I don't know what's true. So I have to wait to make a judgment. Or maybe never make a judgment. Maybe I just label it as something and forget about judging it. That's the kind of thinking skill I want you to develop, is analyzing, waiting until you know what it is before you have an opinion, I guess would be the thing. And then finally, I follow somebody called Shuggy Addict. She's a doll. She has great recipes. I work out, so I like to know what her recipes are because they are high protein and they taste really good. So I've been following her for a while, and then I saw something that she posted that somebody said something not so kind about her face. They don't know her. Why would they comment on her face? She puts wonderful content out there for people to use. It's free. She's cute and fun. And yet somebody comments on her face? Right? It just makes no sense to me. Is that true what they said? No. Why would they say it? I don't know. Are they frustrated with themselves? I kind of think so. But her response was genius. She just said to them, you need to go look at yourself in the mirror and figure out why you feel the need to say something unkind to someone else, especially somebody you don't even know. That's the kind of thing that is going on. And I want people to develop better thinking skills so they don't feel compelled to do that, so they don't believe all the rabble rousing that's going on, so they get to the bottom of what is true and what isn't. You think we can do that? I sure hope so. That would make a complete difference in every community, everywhere. If you just stop for a minute, figure out where was that coming from, who wrote that, what are they trying to get me to believe, and then you're able to take a step back, take a deep breath, and get your own opinion, your own thoughts about it. But if you never analyze anything and you don't stop and read and look up things, you only get sound bites and tidbits, and then you get pulled down the wrong road, right? The rabbit hole of being upset and worked up. That rabble rousing that's going on, we don't want that. We want to be able to be in our community, understanding what's going on with our people, our friends, our families, our loved ones, and then let the rest of it be. We don't know what the truth is out there. So let's just sit back, relax, and take care of our own lives. What do you think about that? I hope you agree with me that we could have better thinking process and analyze things that are coming at us, because with AI, they can take my likeness and my voice and get me to say anything. And you have to know, is that true or not? Because with that, I think any celebrity could be turned into saying any sorts of thing that you need to believe or not believe, right? They're trying to get you to do something. Be very careful. AI is a great service for us, I think, in many ways, but also it's up to us to analyze, to know, if they were using me and you followed me for a bit, I wouldn't say that, whatever it was that they were trying to rabble rouse with. And so you realize, that's strange. Heather would never say that. Now, I can't imagine them using me because I'm not famous somebody, but they will use a famous somebody to get you to feel something or to rabble rouse you, and it's not right. So you just have to be on your guard and use your thinking skills and be able to analyze what's coming at you. All right, I hope that helped. I hope I made sense of it. And if I didn't, give me a shout. Remember to like and subscribe. It really makes a difference for me to get out to other people. Hope you're having a great day. All right, see ya. Bye.